called paying the proper amount of tax. What that means is oftentimes there are tax abilities for people to make sure they minimize their tax, that their taxes are spent wisely, and that's what we work with. And quite frankly, government can be brutal sometimes, and so sometimes you need to make sure that you have an advocate in your corner when it is that you feel like you've been abused by a tax agency. And so we work with that with the Board of Equalization and also with the Franchise Tax Board.
Yeah, I think your approach is phenomenal, frankly. Now, you shared with me a story about a particular individual. I don't know if it's if you're in your comfort zone. This is a woman who wound up owning a business because her husband got in trouble, and she was. Yeah. Is that a story you're comfortable sharing without giving names?
It shows you the challenges that we have. You know, what is unique about California is taxpayers can individually come and make an appeal to an elected body. And so if you feel like you have not been treated fairly in the tax system, you have the right to kind of go and present your case to us. And so we sit in essence like a tax court with 5 of us, 4 elected directly by district and then the state controller. And so every month we have a series of these going before us. And again, some of them are just really difficult and challenging. And this one that you're referring to was a woman who had a very difficult marriage issue. In fact, her husband was arrested for abuse and attempted murder, ended up going to prison. Well, the husband also, along with her, owned a restaurant. And as a result of that, she ended up having to run this restaurant. And she found out when she took the business over, because she wasn't familiar with it, that she had I forgot, it was many thousands, I think 10 or no, it was more than that, it was like $50,000.
Yeah.
That she had owed, that he had owed. And she wasn't familiar with the business, and so she wanted to just kind of get out of it, so she went to sell the business. And she sold the business, but her husband stopped the sale from prison. And as a result of that, she lost the business. She couldn't, and in fact, when she went to sell the business, she had in the escrow instructions for the state to get paid off. Well, her husband didn't approve the sale. She ended up losing the business, and as a result of that, she still owed the state the money. So she made this appeal to us, and unfortunately, she lost. She lost on a 2-3 vote.
Unbelievable.
And to me, it's unbelievable. To me, that's where we need to make sure that we have concern and compassion, and that there's a reasonable hand, some common sense dealing with tax issues. Because here's a woman whose life was already ruined, and quite frankly, the state of California could have given her a little, a cup of cool water, and instead they just said, the law was broken, so we've got to go ahead and we'll work it out with you. We'll try to make you make some make some easy payments or something. But if that's the case, to where I think our job, and me as an elected official, needs to make sure that we're compassionate and that we're applying the laws properly. And to me, that was a place where the law was just overbearing and not proper.
Yeah. I really, truly appreciate what you bring to the equation. I love the fact that you got a background that has an understanding of the full realm of what government's intended to do. There are clearly services that have to be provided, fruitful fields and healthful skies. To these bounties, which are so constantly enjoyed that we are prone to forget the source from which they come, others have been added, which are of so extraordinary a nature that they cannot fail to penetrate and soften even a heart which is habitually insensible to the ever-watchful providence of Almighty God. In the midst of a civil war, unequaled magnitude and severity, which has sometimes seemed to foreign states to invite and provoke their aggression, peace has been preserved with all nations. Order has been maintained. The laws have been respected and obeyed.
This fucking idiot tries to kill me when I'm working the keyboard, just sitting here watching the news. And I jump on his, because I heard the car. And I jump on his car. Oh, that motherfucker!